Welcome to Bootstrap Container class. A container can have many elements like heading, text, images, maybe the another container. There are two types of container, fixed with container, full with container. What is fixed with container? It will have a fixed width for the elements for the various devices like phone, laptop, desktop, etc. Maybe what is full width container, it will expand or adjust the width depends on the device. So you cannot justify which one is better, and it's all about your need and how you want your website. When we talk about container, we also should talk about the grid system. What is grid system here? Bootstrap has got a grid system class in which the content can be splitted into rows and columns. But how it is possible? By using the classes, we can achieve this. Here, the content may be divided into rows and columns. So the rows must be put inside the container. But always do remember the grid system consists of 12 columns. If you go more than that, it will go to the next row. Like for example, maybe the first 6 columns is given to one div, and the next 6 column is given to another div, and again if you are dividing the next 6 column into another div, automatically it comes to the next row. Maybe it's not necessary that 6 columns has to be divided, six columns has to be divided in a row. Okay, you can also have in a row 12 columns. So always do remember, more than 12 columns you cannot have it in the grid system. uh, yeah, now let's go and check with the coding. Maybe one more concept let us understand. We also see the content in different devices like mobile, desktop, tablet, etc., right? So when we see the content in any devices, it should be clearly visible. For that also we need to use the grid system. That's why the Bootstrap provides us responsive website concept. Let's go to the program and we'll see. Here, let's start with the VS Code. Okay, so here I'm going to start a div, a container I'm going to start. So you may type the shortcut dot container, you can type here, right? Dot container and just press enter. Automatically it creates the div class. Okay, it creates the div class with the container class it creates. So here I'm going to start with the row. Here I'm going to start with the row. Let's say you may say just dot row, right? Okay, let me come down. Here I'm going to start dot row. Okay, dot row. When I say, it will create a div class for me. It create a div where the row can be typed. So first I'm going to come up with a row. Let's say first row, first column, first row, first column. I've come up with here. So here I'm going to have one p tag. Let's start with the p tag. So this is simple column in row. Okay, so I just have one sentence here. So first column is done. So here I'm going to start with the second column. Second column, when I say, again let me put the same message here. This is a simple row. These 2 rows I had put. Let's try to execute this. You can see here, right? Let me execute. With the live server I'm going to execute. Okay, with the 5 server I'm going to execute here. See, when you execute you will come to know this is simple column in a row, right? Okay, one by one it is coming. Why? Because I think the row is closed it here only, right? So let's remove this div and put it at the end, right? After closing the 2 columns I had put. See, this is my first row and first column and second column. If you see, it has occupied the entire width. It is splitted into six columns and six columns, right? Let me put one more column here. Let's say dot uh, call, right? Dot call, when you say, it creates one more div. So here I'm going to paste maybe the same p tag. Here I'm going to say this is simple column and row. Okay, you can see here three columns have come in one row, right? So it adjusted the width between the three columns. So let me create one more row here. After this, we need to create one more row, right? Yeah, one more row I'm creating here. Let's say dot row. Okay, dot row, when I say, it creates one more row here. So here I'm going to create a column. So this place, let me say, this is simple column in row. Okay, I set the first column, so you can see here the difference, right? So one more column I'll create here. Yeah, you can see here. Okay, I think the row is closed it here. The row is closed here. Yeah, because the column is closed here only. Okay, that's the reason it came down. So now if you see here, the next two columns in the next row have occupied the 12 columns. If you see, the first row is occupied with the three columns. The second row is occupied with the two columns, right? So this is how you should know how to segregate the content in a page using rows and columns. Thank you.